Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the tipping series. It's round 19 and let's tip some fucking games. This round is a lot of relevant battles. I've talked a little bit about how the ladder is segmented into 4 groups right now. Group 1 is just Sydney. Group 3 is battle for bottom for Adelaide and St Kilda. Group 4 is West Coast North Richmond fighting for the bottom. And then Group 2 is from second place Carlton all the way to Hawthorn in 13th. Battle for top 8 and some top 4, you know, a little bit of mix of that. And there's a lot of these top 8 battles, the Group 2s. In fact, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 Group 2 games. So there's a lot of important games this week, which will be a very important factor for how the ladder will look at the end of the season. Starting off on Friday night, we have got Essendon taking on the Adelaide Crows. I am feeling an Essendon win. It's at Marvel Stadium. They're the better team. They've very much been win, lose, win, lose. They lost last week. I think they'll win this week. And Essendon will win by around 35 points. I do think Adelaide could upset them, but you just got to back the Bombers in this season. They've been more consistent, the more trusting team. And if it was in Adelaide, sorry, I would go with Adelaide, but purely because it's in Victoria, let's go with Essendon. The GWS Giants take on the Gold Coast Football Club. The Giants are so weird. But as we all know, Gold Coast cannot win away from home. And therefore, the Gold Coast Suns will lose this match. The Giants will win. It's at the Giants' home ground. This is one of the Group 2 games. The Giants in 7th, Gold Coast in 11th. One game separates these two. I think the Giants will be separated by 2 wins after this because I think they're going to win by around 40 points. I also think they're just the better team. So make it what you will, the Giants win this game. We have this game's not very good. St Kilda take on West Coast, 15th versus 16th. But let's be real, West Coast are in awful form. No coach. Interim coach. Which just, why am I wearing my hat backwards? Which just leads me to believe that St Kilda will win this game. Also at Marvel Stadium. It's just a Saints stub every day of the week, twice on a Sunday. Given the form of both teams as well, even though St Kilda don't look amazing, they don't look anywhere near as bad as the West Coast Eagles. So St Kilda win by around 40-50 points. Hawthorn take on Collingwood at the MCG. I'm very much torn on this. In fact, I want to see who are the favourites to win this game. Hawthorn are favourites. Jeez, the form they're both in. Hawthorn are in better form, but Collingwood are... This is a must-win game for Collingwood. They have to win this game, or they won't make finals. They won't not make finals, but I'm leaning towards the Collingwood victory. But then Nick Dacos will be tagged by Finn McGuinness. Jeez, Collingwood have no forwards. You know what? I'm going to go with Collingwood by around 2 points. I don't know why I have faith in them, but I am going to tip them. Geelong take on the Bulldogs at GMHBA. I think Geelong win because Bulldogs won last week. Bulldogs win, lose as well. Very inconsistent. So I'm going to go with the Geelong victory there by around 40 odd points. I think it'll be really comfortable for them and they'll be charging up to that top 2. 4 more games left. Port Adelaide take Richmond at Adelaide Oval. If this was at the G, it might be a bit different. Richmond, my club, we're actually in decent form. We've been winning the midfield battle, contested possession, clearances. We just can't score. And to be honest, we're not going to score at Adelaide Oval against Port Adelaide. This will be a percentage boost of Port Adelaide. Right now, they're on 103%. The teams with a better percentage are the Western Bulldogs, the Gold Coast Football Club, the Adelaide Football Club, the Melbourne Football Club, the GWS Giants, Freo, Brisbane, every single team around them except Essendon and Collingwood have a better percentage. And Hawthorn as well, sorry. So Port Adelaide need to boost that percentage. And this will be a game they're looking towards to dominate. I don't think they'll win by that much. 30-40 points, which is still considerable, but not like a 70-80. Just because of the form of Richmond right now, I think it's quite impressive. But they'll still win nonetheless. Probably the easiest game to predict. Actually, no, there's an easier game coming up later. Game of the round. In fact, this is the big test for Brisbane. They take on the Sydney Swans at the Gabba. Now the favourites are, wow, Sydney are just favourites. Just. It is a 50-50 split, this one. As Isaac Heaney is back. Callum Mills will have a game under his belt. I think for this one, I'm going to have to look at the ins and out, aka who's injured. Charlie Cameron's out, actually. Charlie Cameron is out. That changes things. That does change things. We'll look at Sydney's injury list really quickly. Sydney don't have really any injuries at all. With Isaac Heaney, with Isaac Heaney back and Charlie Cameron out, I want to go with Brisbane, but I'm going to go with Sydney. Sydney by 5 points. Only because Cameron's out. If Cameron was playing, this would be a much different story. 2 games left. Fremantle take on Melbourne, another Group 2 game, another fantastic opportunity for Fremantle to cement themselves in the top 4. Melbourne coming off a great win. They're finding some weird form, even in the absence of Gawn and Petrarca. I believe Gawn will miss this game as well. It's touch and go. It is at Fremantle's home. It is in Perth. Optus Stadium, which leads me to believe that Fremantle are more likely to win. Both are very defensively astute teams. I think Josh Treacy will be shut down by Melbourne's defence. But right now, the midfield of Fremantle is doing better than Melbourne, and their midfield is demolishing. One of the best midfielders statistically this year. And I think Fremantle will get the job done by around 5 points. 5 points? 15 points. Final game, Carlton take on North Melbourne at Marvel Stadium. This is the most obvious game to predict, I think. Well, actually, there were quite a few obvious ones this round, but I think Carlton will win this game by around 70, 80 points. North got killed by Sydney last week, and I think Carlton will do the same to North this week. 70, 80, take your pick, either or. Demolished by Carlton, North Melbourne will be. And they are my tips. Just to give a recap, Essendon I've gone with to beat Adelaide, the Giants to beat Gold Coast, St Kilda to beat West Coast. I'm very confident about those 3. Hawthorn I've tipped to lose to Collingwood. I've gone for an upset win for Collingwood. Geelong to beat the Bulldogs. We never know, the Bulldogs might win. Put Adelaide to beat Richmond, they will. Sydney to beat Brisbane, another 50-50 game. No Charlie Cameron. I've just based it off that. Freo to beat Melbourne and Carlton to beat North. So, some really exciting games this round, and I'm sure there'll be many upsets. I do think this is a round where I get at least 6 right. But you'll find out next week how many I got right. They're my tips. Wonder what your tips are. Put in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. Follow the TikTok FTFooty, and I'll be seeing you in another video.